What the hell is going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode of the Bob Gucci Show. Somehow we're still here. I was actually just laying in my bed and got back from the HB3 Canadian Swing Tour, and I was in my bed just funneling beef sticks. What are these things called? Look, they're right here. I was a fat little bitch on the road. Not really, actually. I was actually pretty disciplined. Besides, there was one night where I ordered room service and they didn't really have anything on the menu. It was like chocolate cake and a BLT, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll do the BLT, which is the most down bad ass sandwich in the world. Don't be talking about BLTs, man, and how they're good. They're not. A BLT is a down bad half-ass sandwich. It's stupid. It's a dumb sandwich. I don't care. BLTs are good. I ate one. I know what they taste like. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying it's a half-ass sandwich. Don't be having room service and then be having BLTs on the menu. See, that's the problem I have. If you're gonna have room service, you gotta have a burger. You gotta have a like a quesadilla. You gotta have something. Give me something to work with. Don't give me a chocolate cake and nothing wrong with chocolate cake for a room service. There's nothing wrong with chocolate cake. I like that you're with your wife. You want to eat something off her ass. You're like, hey, what if we put this cake on your cake? You know what I'm saying? Like, eat chocolate cake in bed. It's a fucking thing. I get that. But you can't be having bacon, lettuce, and tomato on a ciabatta bread sandwich. It's just not a good room service meal. It's just not. People in the chat are saying, is this a wrench out pod? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. You're gonna have to elaborate before I answer that. I'm getting to the chat real early on this show. Welcome in, everybody. So anyway, the point I was trying to make was I ordered a room service one night and I was just funneling bread. And they give you like mayo, mustard, and ketchup. And I was just doing this fat ass shit where I was making this random sauce with the ketchup and the mustard together. Like, when you mix ketchup and mustard together, it's just a fat ass move, but it's good. It's good. I don't know what exactly it does. It just it gives you a little bit of something else. And I was kind of putting a little Dijon in there. I get a little slutty when you give me some shit to work with. I know how to work with it. If there's one thing I know how to do, it's work with a fridge. I've always been good at that. I don't know what it is, just combinations and combining things and making things and dipping things in stuff and fucking just sucking on different types of sandwiches. But I just thought I didn't want to be rude to the lady on the room service phone, but I was like, y'all have a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich on the room service menu, and you're going to charge me $39 Canadian for it. It's just kind of fucked. You know what I mean? But yeah, I get back. I was a little bit over what I like to weigh. But that happens when you travel. You're at Hudson News. You're funneling Cheez-Its. A bag of M&Ms here. Your French fries on the side because you get salad on the fry. Salad on the side of a burger. It just sounds so bad. You know what I mean? What did I have where they're like, do you want a salad or fries? And I remember 99% of the time, I just say, don't give me anything. I don't fuck with salad. I think salad's weird. It's just, lettuce is not good. Just chewing on this dirty green shit. Lettuce sucks. It's one of the biggest scams in history. All these sub sandwich places, they beef up their sandwiches with this grass. Get this grass out of my face. This fucking nasty ass lettuce. And it's still brown from dirt all over it. It's cow shit in my lettuce. Get your shit out of my lettuce. I just hate lettuce. I think it's bullshit. That's why I fuck with bowls. I like Mediterranean bowls. I like bowls that just have I like bowls that have an ass on it. I don't need all this grass, this lettuce. I got a steak wrap today from this place. It was steak, peppers, some type of cheese. And then it had all this arugula, all this grass. And I just open up the wrap and I just take a handful of this grass. I get it out. Get it out. Shout out to the chat, man. Thank you. The shows looked electric. They were. We'll get into that in a little bit, since I guess the show has just turned into a therapy session for me. Um, Great show in Montreal. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. That was a good one. That was a Montreal show was very. It was a good mix of. Let me tell you something about Montreal. I need to walk back some comments I made about French Canadian people in the past. I really like to apologize. I went to Montreal several years ago, and I just remember getting spat on, not spat on, but spat near in a McDonald's. Some guys were kind of beefing with us near a taxi. People were kind of assholes. And then from that, like, 6-second experience, for years, I just started going with the narrative that French Canadians, or not even French Canadians, just French people, were fucking assholes. Because it's funny. I don't really mean it. But I got to tell you something, dude. I'm fucking wrong. I was dead wrong. Everybody was cool. The crowd was so respectful. They weren't heckly. They weren't rowdy. They were all paying attention. Like, everyone was so dialed. Like, that's the thing you realize when you're an illustrious comedian like myself and you've been on stage 17 times. You realize, like, some people are disrespectful. Some people don't give your attention. Some people are too drunk. Some people take their balls out of their pants. That's never happened. That's only one of my friends that does that a lot. He hasn't done that in a while, but people behave different. And when you do more of these shows, the game starts to slow down a little bit, and you start to realize, like, how people behave. But Montreal was so cool, man. The kids were so respectful too at the end. Like, hey, can I get a picture? Dap me up. Good show. And then they leave, and they're not like chewing my ear off about something. Most of our crowds are respectful like that, though. So it was really fun. That was a great crowd. All the crowds are great. Ottawa, like, I could just run down the line if you guys want to hear this shit. I don't know if you really want to hear it. Ottawa, you guys signed my hoodie in Ottawa. Loving the guy that just put Doug like that. And I don't know who started it. Some guy just goes, "Can I sign your shit?" And I look down. I'm like, fuck, this is actually like a really expensive hoodie. But, you know, these are people that spent money for a ticket to come see the show, and they support the boys. So I'm like, fuck it, who cares, man? Like, money comes and goes, snow comes and goes, shit. So I thought it was like a cool thing you guys did. You guys decided to sign my hoodie. And there's blood on my hoodie. I don't know what crime scene that was from, or it might be chocolate. I don't know what it is. Wait, I can't find it. There's something. I don't know if somebody was bleeding on me. Oh, maybe it's not on this. Oh, yeah, it's right here. Oh, that's definitely chocolate. That's definitely not blood. Not going full OJ Simpson on a Sunday night in Montreal. That was another cool thing, guy. I know I was talking about this. This is all I had for dinner tonight was just beef stick. It's like one of those things that's like fake healthy now, since we're doing that. And they just advertise like it's real. There's no sugar in it. But then they don't advertise like the calories and shit. So just another way to get rickrolled by the government. Because pretty much all you're eating in America is shit. You might as well just eat your own shit out of the fucking toilet, because it's just, most of everything is just fucking nasty. So shout out to the chat. Damn, chat's absolutely buzzing for a lad like me for the Rob Gucci show. But I was in bed, man, and I was like, oh my God, it's Wednesday. I didn't drop a show. I just completely forgot. I lost track of the time. But I'm here. So I got out of bed, took my strap-on off, and I fired up the camera. Now I'm in my kitchen firing. Someone in the chat said, Rob, has your mom ever expanded on the crazy shit that went on at the Diddy parties? I got asked about that at the live shows, actually. It was a pretty funny topic. That's the other thing about our crowd. Like, you know, we have it pretty dialed into where we're essentially doing a podcast on stage and trying to make you guys laugh. And sometimes the crowd contributes, and it's funny what you guys bring up. What was the best show? I don't know, man. It's hard to say. There's no such thing as answering that. Somebody asked us in Montreal, what was the best show? It's just, man, everything has their own dude. Like every there's something special about all the shows. There's something special about going on the road for 7 days and it feels like 3 months, because it's like you're on a plane, then you're on a train, then you're switching hotels, and you're doing a show, and you meet everyone after the show, and you try to. The real mental thing is like when you're meeting people after the show, it's like you wanna give everybody your undivided attention, and then some people, like, if I'm, like, dapping up one dude, some guy might be like, "Yo, I gotta get out of here real quick, like, can I get a picture with you real quick?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then, but then I don't want to interrupt that guy what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of all over. Like, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm just kind of like fucking trying to make sure that I'm not rude to anybody. And it's kind of hard to do sometimes, but like I'm not saying that in a complaining way. It's just the last thing you want to do is like there's been times like when we came out on stage in Montreal, sorry, Toronto, like the crowd was so nasty. Go to Home by 3 Instagram. They were going fucking nuts. And I was dapping up a kid, and I realized I missed some kid, so I just left some kid hanging. I was like, "Fuck," and I had to go back and get him. But yeah, dude, can't really pick a favorite city. Everything was special. Toronto was an awesome venue. I think there was 3 girls in the chat there. The crowd is so fucking funny, dude. The setup was awesome. Ottawa, at one point, I had a baseball glove on in Ottawa, and I was playing catch with a guy in the crowd. He threw me a baseball mitt, and I put it on, and he threw me a ball, and I caught it. Ottawa didn't have much of a stage. We're kind of like pinned up against the wall. I'm not going to lie. The Ottawa people, I don't know if they notice this. Like, this kind of runs through your head mid-show or in the beginning of the show, but then you have to realize, fuck, like, we got to entertain the people. We're kind of like pinned up against a wall on stools, and there was no like stage to work with. And it's not, I'm not complaining. Like, we're lucky we're in comedy clubs at all, but it kind of takes you back. Like, oh, fuck, you got to adjust to the environment. And next thing you know, I'm playing catch with somebody. So somebody threw us fortune cookies, and I ate them directly into the microphone. Just fucking. The chat is somebody just said a joke about when I was talking about my racist grandpa. Yeah, I think I said that in every city. I try not to, like, we don't have a written down script, but the crowd like, tell us about your racist grandpa. So I was kind of talking about him. People really like that. So Ottawa, there was a kid that was to my kind of besides me that was like yelling out funny topics. And yeah, great crowd. And then actually one kid after the show, so there was really no green room for us to hang out in or anything. So when the crowd was leaving, there was a act on after us. So we were kind of leaving with the crowd. And I got outside and some kid was like, "Those 2 guys are fucking clowns." And I said, I go, "Yeah, fuck those guys," or something like that. And he looked at me and he was like, "Not you. I'm talking about 2 other kids in there." I don't know if he actually was or he's talking about us, but that's just showbiz and that's baseball. Like, not everybody's going to like the show, but the overwhelming majority of every show had like such good feedback where it was like, it was really cool. So I just want to, I don't want to make this whole show about kissing the crowd to ass, but you guys were great, dude. You guys were so like polite and respectful after the show, and just it was such a cool experience. Like, it really was. It was like when I got back here, I was just itching to do another show, and Montreal, like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, for a Sunday night time slot when there's literally a fucking snowstorm. It's negative degrees out. For you Americans out there, it was negative Fahrenheit like the whole trip during showtime. Pretty much every city was relentless, like ruthless weather. And still people showed up. Like, the rooms were full in every single city. So I was like, damn, dude, fucking respect. Thank you so much. It was awesome, dude. It made me really forget how pretty much every line cook in Arizona is getting ruthlessly deported right now. For me, like, the one thing they're making a cheeseburger, the next thing they're on a bus, a detention bus, getting shipped back to Guadalajara, which is a whole other topic we're going to get into on our deporting segment of the show. But I just wanted to give everybody such a thank you from the bottom of my chin for such an unreal time in Canada. Three shows in 4 nights, dude. Sometimes you doubt yourself. You're like, fuck, man, are we going to be able to entertain these people 3 times in 4 nights? Because we don't have a script. We don't have a fucking script, dude. There's no script. Sometimes we say things that you may have heard on the pod or something like that because people love that. They love hearing things that we've said before, but they want the in-person experience. But sometimes you doubt yourself. Sometimes you doubt your chin. That's a part of the business. That's baseball. You're like, fuck, like, are we going to be able to, have 3 bangers in 4 nights? And the answer is yeah. So one kid told me he got a fever after he messaged me and he said, I got a fever. I can't remember if I answered his DM, but a kid came up to me after Toronto and he goes, I want you to put your hand in my beer. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, I don't want to get you sick. I just dapped up 200 dudes in the audience. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you know how much, what dudes are doing with their hands? You know what I'm saying? And I just dapped all of them up. And without hand sanitizer, now you want me, this was like a request. This is a real thing. Him and his buddy were like, all we want you to do is to tap into our drinks. And I was a little bit hesitant. I was like, I don't know if I want to put you through that. And he's like, please. So I was like, okay. So then I dunked my hand in this kid's beer, like my whole hand. And he fucking drank it after. And I'm like, I respect the fuck out of that. However, you are going to get sick. You're going to get violently ill. And then he ended up DMing. I don't know if it was the Home by 3 account or me, that he actually got a fever after that. You're lucky that's all you got, dude. You're lucky. You should be fucking thankful that you don't have, a case of the Sheens. AIDS. I don't have that, but I just figure, like, if I dapped up 200 guys after the show, I'm hugging people, I'm touching. I was trying to think if I was relentlessly tugging at my hotel room. I wasn't. I need to save all my energy for the shows. But anyway, you get the point. If it makes you feel better, just know that my hands were clean. But I don't know what was on anybody's else's hands. But then he got sick after. But that's the price of business. That's baseball. So that's a tough bounce in the infield. Shout out to the chat on that one. Shout out to Steve Pat. Yeah, I did tweet that about my boy Wilkins. But yeah, that's what happens. People have some funny requests. People asked me to sign a McDavid card. I was like, are you sure? And then after the show, Swish and I were getting in an elevator. And I was like, dude, a kid had me sign. And I'm not knocking any of this. I love it. I fucking love it. I signed one of those Chinese hats. Like one of those things. I signed a kid's chest. Didn't sign any titties. Bunch of hats. You guys signed my stuff, obviously. I've told you 15 times by now. And then I signed a McDavid card. I go, a kid asked me to sign a McDavid card. And I said something along the lines of like, is that rude of me to McDavid? And then he just goes, that's disrespectful to McDavid. But in my defense, Connor, I apologize for signing one of your cards with the Rob Gucci signature, but I'm not going to tell the audience that I'm not going to sign something. There was a couple guys there with really nice jerseys too, and I tell them, like, are you sure you want me to sign your jersey, dude? It's a fucking sick jersey. And they're like, fuck yeah. And I'm like, all right. So I appreciate everyone that wants me to sign their jersey. And none other than Wobbly Mommy just got in the chat. Actually, I can't believe I didn't bring this up yet because we're going to get to how my favorite chef from Zips got deported, which I'm very upset about. Guy makes a hell of a burger. I love the way he puts the pickles on the burger. We FaceTime me. I don't know if I get permission to tell you guys this from Cornbread Bitch. An insane incident happened at the Ottawa show. I don't even know how this came up. Somebody in the crowd mentioned something about Cornbread Bitch. And I was like, dude, should we FaceTime Cornbread Bitch? And they just went fucking crazy. Like at one point, I'm pretty sure like 7 kids had their penises out. And I was like, should we do it? The crowd, I'm not positive, but I think there was a standing ovation before we even called her. So we call her. I'm on stage. I have a microphone, and I'm like this. If you're one of the 72 people that watch on YouTube, I'm like this. And then somehow, like naturally, I could never see this coming. A room full of dudes were just like, take your tits out. And I was like, first of all, we need consent. because this is a respectful hockey show. And after consent was unofficially given by Cornbread Bitch, I didn't see her rack because I was too focused on showing the crowd. But I held up my phone, and allegedly Cornbread Bitch took her rack out. And I was going like this, just showing the whole audience. And people are going fucking crazy. They're going fucking nuts. So that was a crazy moment in the Ottawa show. Like, it was so loud in there. Like, if you guys ever been in comedy clubs, like, it's kind of like, it's not like a big theater. We're not doing stadiums yet. We might need it. When we go back to Canada, we might actually need Scotiabank Arena. But, like, it was so loud in there, dude. It was so loud that the fortune cookie that a kid threw me on stage and I ate it, I thought I was going to puke it up because it was so loud. Like, my head was vibrating. So that was a really cool moment. Shout out to Cornbread Bitch for that, because that was you just never know what you're gonna get when you're at a Home by Three show, dude. Some guys get up on stage. Shout out to Retro and Sarge. Sarge drove up from Mass with Retro. Retro came all the way from St. Louis, man, and then we awarded him an HB3 free ticket to our theater show that we're hopefully gonna have. And he came up on stage and he was saying 90, 90, 90, 93-1 in French. I mean, the guy is a Swiss Army knife. He can do it all. He speaks a little bit of French. So those boys coming up was huge. Those guys, such good fans, dude. We'll remember that when we rent out the entire world and do a show for the entire world. Those guys are gonna be front and center. It was just a really cool experience. So shout out to everybody that came to the shows, man. The road was really good to us. Montreal was great. I really changed my mind on French people. The ladies in Montreal, man, I had a waitress in Montreal. Like, the whole staff in Montreal at this one restaurant was so nice, joking around with us, shooting the shit. It was just a good experience. So, and then you get back to Arizona, you get back to the United States, and it is people are getting shot in the head. What the hell is going on with Minnesota? We were going to do a show there, but I don't even know if we can. Like, I might have to wear a Kevlar vest on stage. Like, they're going to, with the way I get along with Hispanic women, they might deport my black ass, dude. I don't know what's going on. It's just way over my head. It's just, like, I just don't know what's going on. So there's a restaurant chain in Arizona called Zips. It's a sports bar. It's home of the Zipperita, which is a mixed, like, it's a smoothie kind of drink, like a penis colada. It's like one of those frozen drinks, and they only let you have 2 of them. There's a cutoff. Unless you have a special, like, golden ticket, you got to have to get 3. Unless you're flirting with your waitress relentlessly. But there's so much piss in the drink. It gets you fucked up. It's almost as bad as a triple retard, but not quite close. Jamie, edit that out. But yeah, man, and I don't know. I get back to Arizona, and I guess Homeland Security did a raid on all of these Zip sports bars, and they're like taking out the chefs in handcuffs. And I guess they said at first it was ice, apparently, but then they said it wasn't ice. We're gonna have Jamie pull that up in a second, because I don't know exactly what happened. But my question is, why are we like? And this is the thing. I don't know a lot about this, but why are we deporting? So there's undocumented workers, but why are we deporting guys that make cheeseburgers and not figuring out how Somalia has all my money? I don't even know if that's a real thing. Was that a real thing? We're going to get into the political segment on the show. We're going to get into the politics segment on the show, and we're going to say, Jamie, pull that up. Guys, by the way, while Jamie pull that up. Fuck! Well, Jamie pulls that up. We have a show to announce in Philadelphia on June. Okay, dude, this is what happens when I don't eat. Because like I said, Daddy got a little fat on the trip. So I'm not eating. I'm doing water, and then I'm eating like a fucking beef stick just walking a lot and working out. I'm a little bit lightheaded. No excuses though. Like I said, I got out of bed to do this because I forgot it was Wednesday. What was I just talking about before? I was talking about how I got to keep it tight and not eat for a couple days. What was I just talking about? Ice, cheeseburgers, cornbread's rack. What were you just talking about? What's going on? 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 Fuck. There was something I was saying. Oh, Philly show. Thank you. Cornbread in the chat. Guys, I try to avoid the chat a little bit when I'm on video because I do have like a shit ton of audio listeners. So they get a little frustrated when I dedicate this to the chat. But thank you. That's why the chat's here. You guys have my back. Philadelphia, April 23rd at Helium Comedy Club. Those tickets are on sale now. We got to put those on our website, but for now they're in a link. And I don't even know if they're in my bio. They're on Twitter. I'll get those in my bio before I go to bed. New York City is sold out on the 25th. Unfortunately, we're going to wait to see if we can get a bigger venue. The Stand is constructing a bigger venue, but we don't know if it's going to be done. I don't know if it's going to be done with it. The way they're deporting people. I'm not sure we're going to have any workers, and I mean that in a respectful way, to get this thing done. We might have to go there with a tool belt and finish this place so we can add more tickets to get people to that New York show. So those are next two upcoming shows. Minnesota and Detroit are on pause. Pittsburgh is on pause. Pittsburgh's not on pause. We just need to figure out a good swing to do that. Minnesota's on pause. But yeah, let's have Jamie pull this thing up. So first of all, we're going to get into that Somalian scam. I want to see how true was the Somalian daycare fraud thing real. Because you never know what's real these days. A lot of fake things, a lot of fake sets, a lot of fake asses. Somali daycare fraud allegations you're referring to from a viral video. Wow, the viral claims were largely debunked as overstated or misleading. Huh. Some centers operate as non-standard hours. Everything's fake. Everything's fake. My wife's tits are going to be fake. Nothing's real. This is why I don't even like reading this shit. I just like having fun. I like talking about dust. I like talking about we were talking about porn at our shows. Okay. We talk about, we're a hockey show. Okay. But here's the thing. We don't even know if there's fraud. There is a real ongoing history of fraud in Minnesota. Child care assistance, yada, 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 involving $250 million in alleged fraud. So is it real? So what happened? That's what I don't like about anything that's viral. It's not real. Okay, so this didn't really answer my question. Like, how much fraud is there going on? How many Somali guys have my money? So is the daycare thing real or no? That's what I want to know before we get into people deporting chefs. But the amount of fraud is okay. Okay, there's 2.4 million in child care fraud. That's peanuts. No one cares about 2.4 million. You can't even do anything with that. You can't even get a house for 2 million. But then, sorry, I'm just reading this right now. So ongoing probes. So it's basically not even it's like, yeah, there's some fraud, but there's not fraud. In short, real fraud occurs, but claims of billions, specifically in daycares, are overstated and conflated. Huh? Jamie, pull that down. Actually, Jamie, leave that up. Okay, we're going to get into what's going on with Zips Sports Grill. This is a place that I like to go when I want to get absolutely shit-faced, which is not that much anymore, but every now and then it'll get rowdy and zips. You can go get drunk for, $32 instead of everywhere else in Scottsdale where it costs $350 to catch a buzz. Okay. But we had Zips, which is a sports grill, get raided by the government. Like all 15 of them, I guess, got raided by these guys. Can you pull that up? Zip Sports Grill is a popular chain of sports bars. I don't really eat there. I just drink there. They do have good wings, though. Homeland Security Investigations, SHI. I haven't even heard of this division before. Along with partners with ICE and ERO and the IRS, U.S. Marshals, and Border Patrol. Okay, so everybody's in on this one. All the boys are in on this one. Executed search warrants at 15 Zips locations across Phoenix, Tempe, and Scottsdale, Chandler, Gilbert, yada, yada, yada. This was involved in an ongoing criminal investigation until federal violations, unlawful employment of aliens. Can we just stop calling people aliens? You know what's a fucking alien? An octopus. Those are aliens. They change colors. They can get out of weird spaces. There was an octopus that was dating that guy in that documentary. That guy who was jumping into the ocean every day, not satisfying his wife. He was the octopus. The octopus and him absolutely engaged in activity that I don't even want to talk about. That's an alien. Hiring undocumented workers. It's crazy that it's so hard just to work in general. You got to be documented. You work. They take half your shit. Can we just fucking do stuff? Identity theft. Okay, that's where you guys know me by now. If you listen to the show, it's very simple. If you're a bad person, get them out. If they're a good person, let's just figure this thing out because I like Zips. Document fraud. February 25, alleging management knew employees used fake IDs. And then here's the other thing, though. It's hard to find good employees. So it's like these people that are, I guess, undocumented in the country figure out a way. It's kind of like, hey, I know that you're from Guatemala. You make a mean fucking burger. It's hard to find people that are good in line cooks these days. Everyone's high. No one comes into work on time. You're hired. So I don't know if that's the case at Zips or maybe they're underpaying them on purpose, but it's just it's hard. So over 35 people were arrested and detained. Dude, it's like the last thing, you're making a cheeseburger at Zips and you just get fucking arrested. It's like, fuck. A couple that worked there for 18 years got deported. Oh my God. See, if I was the judge in this case, Jamie, pull this down, I would be like, all right, there are laws, right? You have to abide the law. I can't walk into China and start and open up a fucking lemonade stand or it'll shoot you in the fucking head. And I get that. But if a dude and his wife were working at goddamn Zips for $14 an hour, making burgers and wings and grinding, it's I feel like the Department of Further Security has to be like, dude, these people go to the DOJ or whoever runs this shit and just be like, dude, or Trump or whatever, and just be like, dude, these guys have been grinding in the kitchen at Zips. I feel like, can they just can we just let them stay? Now, if they are using someone else's identity or fucking things up or selling dust on the side, or they're just selling a little dust. Let people sell dust. Come on, we all sell a little bit of dust. I don't, but people do. And also, I take that back because dust is dangerous and it's not good. So if the Department of Homeland Security is listening to this is all satire. This is just a joke. I'm a guy sitting in a kitchen with a guy that wrote Doug on my sweatshirt. I'm just kind of giving you guys my thoughts on these aren't members of MS-13. You know what I mean? They're not slaughtering people. They're not kidnapping people on Pistawa Peak and killing them and dumping their bodies in the canal. I mean, these are people that are making cheeseburgers. Can we just have a mutual were they paying taxes though? That's the thing. Like, were they just getting cash to flip these burgers and then they're not contributing to the government and the govy gets pissed? Maybe they could work out like a deal where it's like, hey guys, listen, I know you guys have been grinding your ass off at Zips and you guys make great wings. You guys make a great focaccia bread. I don't like their focaccia there too. It's always gooey. I don't fuck with their focaccia bread, like their sandwiches. I really don't. Um, but you guys have been the backbone of the Zips in Gundale for 18 years. However, you weren't paying taxes. So like if you guys can come up with the dough to make like, you come to an understanding, like maybe we let them stay. I don't really know how that works. Like, or is the government just like you guys are out because it's illegal to be undocumented in the country? I don't know. This is over my head. Zips' response is they're issuing a statement. They're cooperating fully. But federal officials, isn't it crazy that the like feds get involved in this shit? Well, I guess they have to, right? So the raid sparked protests, including tear gas. See, this is America. Like, isn't everything so crazy these days? Like, one second you're in school and they're telling you, like, you got to cite your sources. You got to cite your sources and you got to go get your master's so you can apply to get a good job. You got to get an internship that underpays you. And one day you're going to climb that corporate ladder. And if you work hard for 20 years, you're going to get a pension and maybe make 125K a year. And that's what you were told. And the next thing you know, you're getting tear gassed outside of a burger place because you're protesting that the chef got deported. It's just a crazy world we live in. And that's why I stick to myself and I just figure out ways to open up more credit cards and get to Cabo and have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, it's a tough one. It's just a tough one. And I'm gonna get called, by my Repub listeners, they're gonna call me a lib because, like, technically you have to be documented in the country. And I just don't see it as black and white like that. Like, it's hard. I don't see black and white like that. Unless I'm in like an all hip hop club, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I am noticing I'm white in here more than usual. But I think it's like individual cases. But then I feel like the government's too busy to go through every single case one by one. So then it's just like, hey, if you're illegal, you get out. If you're legal, you stay in. But there's no like sympathy or empathy scale. I feel like there has to be. They should create AI technology to where they can because and then you get into communism. Communism. If you're scanning people's brains, because that would be way easier. Like if they just had that thing at TSA, and then you walk through it, and it goes like, bzzz. So you take all the people that are undocumented. And granted, there's enough room. I feel like there is enough room because I drove to Vegas and there's a lot of room to live. But the Colorado River is running out of water, I guess. So that's not good. Check the water levels. If there's enough water that people can fucking drink water, then you take these undocumented people and then you walk them through a thing that's like a TSA thing and it scans their brain. And if they're a good person, okay, you can stay, but you owe like a fee because we caught you, like a $500, $500. And then if you're a bad person, you get deported. I mean, why am I not the president right now? How is that not fair? The chat is calling me a lib. Like, I feel like that's not really lib. I feel like that's just common sense, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go on a train and you're fucking in this and you stab somebody, get him out. If you're a good dude and you're making cheeseburgers at Zips, working hard, like you Yeah, it should be like a hide and seek fee. I'm gonna go on the Senate floor and I'm gonna propose a hide and seek bill. If you're not documented in the country and you get caught, but you're a good dude, you have to pay a hide and seek fee, whether it's a tax, like if you want to stay. And maybe we can work with like PayPal or someone to do a payment plan. If you can't afford it right away, you get on a payment plan if you want to stay. But it's like we got you. That would actually like kind of feel like I feel like that would generate some good money. But if you're a bad person, get out. Get out of here, dude. If you're breaking into my car like that one person did or my house, get out. I feel like I feel like I don't know, man. Maybe I just don't get it. I just don't get it, dude. Um, yeah, I guess I just don't get it. Like Jamie, pull that up. It's just like we're rating sports bars now. Like we're rating, Jamie, pull that down. We're rating Buffalo Wild Wings is now. That's the problem. And I'm not even calling them wrong. Like I get, like that's the rules. But I wish there was a faster way for case by case studies, is what I'm saying. Because some people get fucked over, dude. That's how it goes, man. Some people get fucked. Some people just get bent over, man. You know, one second you're at a sports bar in West Hollywood, and the next second you're in the basement of a Verbo covered in oil. Fucking Diddy's down there. Bunch of party balloons there. And you're naked. And it's like, I didn't even ask for this. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't know. Um, that's my problem. I'm trying to figure this out live on a podcast called Rob Gucci Show. I'm just trying to figure out the dynamics of how can we be people? How can we better? How can people be better people? Like if you're working at Zips and you're grinding in the kitchen, and that's not an easy job, man. Fucking being in a kitchen all day and being around these cheeseburgers and around these fries and around these milkshakes and this booze, and you can't even eat it yourself. You have to serve it. You got to have discipline. And like from my understanding, like I've been to Zips before. I feel like they're not paying them cash, unless maybe they are. But if you're getting a paycheck from Zips, I'm pretty sure the taxes come out, which would make you a taxpayer. So like if you're paying taxes, but you don't have but you're an undocumented person, I feel like they should be like, dude, like we'll just document you real quick, but just don't do this. Don't do it again. Thanks for paying your fair share. But I guess it's deeper than that. I guess like I'm just not smart enough to understand how it goes. But then if you do that, then it opens the door for like bad people to come in and be like, oh, all you have to do is be fake and pretend you're a nice person, and they'll slap you on the wrist. That's the one thing. Like you can't have criminals coming in, like bad criminals. Like you can have some good criminals come in, like people that like who are some good criminals? Like people that um actually I don't know if there's good criminals. People that jaywalk, right? Maybe let them in. But we can't be letting the bad guys in. That's the big problem. I mean, that goes back to like being a kid. The whole movie is about bad guys no, good guys yes. Like that's what we need to figure out. And honestly, like the one thing that I know I haven't looked at the chat in about 10 minutes, but like the Repubs that are going to call me a lib for this, the one thing that I will say is like, I think like the angry baristas that are protesting are making this a lot worse somehow because it just keeps getting like you have dudes named like Dragon with purple hair spitting and throwing rocks at the Department of Homeland Security. And like I understand the frustration and stuff like that, but I just feel like that's not going to get the job done. But then it's like people are fed up and it's like, What else do you do? I don't know. I don't even know. And honestly, like I said, it's like, it's not that I don't care. I just feel like I just don't know what to do about this whole thing. Like, I feel like there's such a common ground. Like, why it doesn't have to be as now that this is a political commentary show, I feel like it just doesn't have to be as divisive as it is. You get what I'm saying, bro? Like, if you're gonna come here and sell dust, like, make sure at least you use test strips. Don't be selling Fent to my son. Maybe they should just legalize dust. I don't know. I feel like this whole thing isn't about dust, though. I feel like it's about. I'm just gonna ask the internet. Should Jamie pull this up? Because the problem with common sense is that I guess I guess because the common sense thing I guess just doesn't work for business. Like, it just doesn't work. Like, business is all about titties. Like, you need to show some ass. You need to have some emotion. Like, you need people scared. You need people to Congress needs to show a little bit of cleavage. I just don't get it. And I'm okay with not getting it. Like, whenever I'm in public and someone starts talking about like politics or some shit, I'm just like, nah, bro. I don't even know, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone tries to have a conversation with me about that in person, to me, my mind just shuts off, and I'm just like, yeah, I just hope everyone has a good life. I hope everyone has fun, dude. Hope everyone could just go to a baseball game, eat a hot dog, funnel a hot dog. That's what I hope. And I know it's a very controversial take, but I just hope that hope the people just have fun. I hope people just have fun. I'm gonna go to the chat right now. I've been to the chat in a minute. Let's see what we're going on here. Gucci gonna be in Scottsdale for the Waste Management. Where are we crushing beers? Yeah, dude, you're gonna hate this answer, and a lot of people hated this when we were on the road too. People are like, "Where are you guys going after? Where are you guys going after? Where are you guys drinking? Where are you guys drinking?" But it's like, dude, we have a show in Toronto tomorrow night. We're on a back to back. People are like, "Oh, come on, come on!" And like, I appreciate the enthusiasm and stuff, but I can't show up to Ottawa hungover as fuck, shit faced, and deliver a bad show to the people, right? I feel like that's irresponsible. And if you don't respect that, then I don't know what to tell you, man. And to answer your question, I just don't know if I'm slinging beers for the Waste Management. I just got the shit to do, man. I don't know, but you'll have a good time though. I might be walking around there doing some content or something like that. But like, as far as getting drunk, I feel like a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but people that listen to my show, like, I think they're having a hard time with dealing that I'm actually like not an actual alcoholic. Like, they get very disappointed when I'm not a drug addict alcoholic. They're very disappointed. They're like, "Oh, this guy doesn't drive drunk and drive directly in the coffee shops." And I'm sorry, but daddy has shit to do. I like to have fun. I can still pick my spots, but like, it's like when I'm on the road and we're meeting the audience after, like, they're like bewildered when you tell them like, and I still did shots where people bought me tequila shots, Jaeger bombs, and all that. But people are like bewildered that like you're not going to be out till 5 a.m. when you have a flight the next morning to go do another show. And that's baseball, man. Like, I have to keep my chin on a good swivel. I want to be fresh for the people that paid for the other shows, you know? Daddy's grown up. As I sit here in my 400 square foot kitchen, or not even 400, are you kidding me? 40 square foot kitchen that I bring up on every show. Like, maybe I'm just growing up. Maybe I just need to do more dust. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Hey, Rob Lovell, your Patreon is on auto pay, but I never open the app. Shout out to P Shep. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the support. Shout out to the Patreon. Got to do an episode for y'all. I know I missed last week because I was on the road, but I appreciate the support, man. Andrea in the chat. a lot of them pay taxes. Yeah, I said that I brought that up too. There's just it's hard to like it's hard for me to talk about politics. I just don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? Like a lot of it's more complicated than like I can ever say. And I feel like when I talk about this shit, weird, it brings like a fucking like a serious element to the show, and I just kind of want to be a jackass on here, right? I'll give you guys a jackass episode this weekend. P Shep is eating ice cream. Shout out P Shep. Just kind of scroll down. Did you see Mountain Valley has a lot of bad shit in it? That's why you've been having headaches. No, that's not why I've been having headaches. I got that figured out. I have like an actual disorder, unfortunately. Now that we're getting into the medical aspect of the show, but I've been managing it well with some lifestyle changes and doing more dust. But what the fuck are you talking about, Mountain Valley? Jamie, pull that up. Does Mountain Valley water have bad things in it? God damn it, dude. You can't put anything in my mouth anymore without it being bad. Nothing's healthy, dude. It's fucking crazy. Like, can't even eat my wife's ass anymore. Maybe not ass, sorry. But I don't want to be vulgar, but it's like you can't even eat anything anymore. You can't even put anything in your mouth anymore. Mountain Valley spring water, often just called Mountain Valley, premium bottled water. I hate when you ask something on this fucking app. It tells you a background on it. I just want to know. The company markets it as naturally pure, additive-free with beneficial minerals like calcium, magnesium, yada, yada, yada. pH is around 7.3 to 7.8. No added chemicals. No contaminants detected above FDA allowable. Oh, is the chat just fuck with me? Is that not true? Independent third-party tests have given high safety scores. Is chat fucking with me? See, the thing about this, though, is I'm using Grok. This is just one source. I don't know who owns this shit. I guess Elon. So I just don't know. No major recalls or widespread confirmed safety issues. A federal class action lawsuit filed in Florida alleges false advertising. It claims that independent lab testing detected traits of arsenic, uranium, and bromoform. What the fuck is bromoform? Viral social media posts and apps like Oasis Health ranked it lower than. Okay, so again, mostly things that go viral are fake, people. Let's remember this. Bottom line, it's generally considered safe and meets all FDA standards. So what the fuck is going on? So one dude in Florida was like, fuck this, it's bad, but then everybody said it's good. Compared to Fiji. Let's see what's going on with Fiji. Because Fiji. Okay. Wow, Fiji ranks higher than Mountain Valley. Neither has dangerous levels per FDA. Huh. The guy in the chat said, I don't know, I heard about it online. I was just observing and reporting. Yeah, it sounds like you saw like that viral video that they were talking about, which was probably made by a competitor because that's how things work. The number one thing you do if you take anything away from the show, always slander your competition to get ahead and always play the victim. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Like I said, I was in bed before this and I forgot it's Wednesday. So I want to put out an episode for you guys. I don't know what to say about that episode. I got to stop fucking like self-criticizing the episodes. But sometimes when ICE is deporting my favorite guy that makes cheeseburgers, you just got to talk about stuff. So there's good eggs and bad eggs everywhere, dude. There's good people and bad people in every walk of life. So, all right, I'm out of here. Tickets on sale for Philly. Tickets on sale for New York. Shout out to the chat, man. If you're listening to this on audio, this is on YouTube at Rob Gucci Show. I appreciate you guys following along with me on the ride. I had a couple people come up to me in the show and say like, "Hey, man, I've been listening to you since 2018. I've been following you since 2013." I got to give a shout out to this fella that came to the show in Montreal that got his appendix removed on like Thursday and still made it to the fucking show. But I'm going to talk about that more on Home by 3 tomorrow. We are live in the morning, 9:30 Arizona time. I think that's it. I think that's everything I got to plug, guys. But we out of here. This has been another episode of the Rob Gucci Show. Thank you. Love you guys. We out of here. Love you.